right, let's go ahead and get started if we can. I said 10 o'clock, I really meant 10 after 10.
So it's blank now. There's no signal. What? Okay.
All right, I think we are convened and ready to roll, subject to Al being plugged in.
Did I mention that we'll have new technology in the new building? All right, today, finally, we have our session on mandated and discretionary functions of county government. As we previously discussed, I'll do the presentation on both, and then after this, we'll have a ranking of the discretionary part. So this is a significant thing to stand up, and I think staff has done an amazing job on it. I would really be surprised if there's any county in the state that's actually done this amount of work to try to really look at our discretionary and mandated spending and go through a process with the board to rank those things. So I'm really thankful that staff did a great job on this. So I'll quickly get through the PowerPoint and then we'll get to the ranking. We do have a significant number absent, so we'll just need to discuss how we want to address that, whether we just go with what's ranked or whether we set up a separate session for those who missed to have the opportunity to rank as well. Okay, so the history of even calling something a mandated or unmandated service really starts with the Headley Amendment in 1978. Of course, Senator Richard Headley was a tax crusader and really set out to try to minimize the impact of tax increases on our state's residents and businesses. And then, of course, we had the Proposal A passed in 1994, which also added another level of protection for homeowners when it came to being able to select their homestead, and if they were in their homestead, pay less property tax. And then there was a legislative commission on mandates in 2009. At some point, the state actually set up a committee to hear concerns of local governments. You could file a report, which I did on a couple of occasions over my career, basically claiming that there was an unfunded mandate and asked the state to pay it. To my knowledge, that commission or committee never once approved a request to fund a local government that was claiming an unfunded mandate. So here at Kent, we did do a mandated services report in 2001. I did initiate that based on prior experience in Lenawee County, fresh out of grad school. And then, of course, 2017, that was updated. And then 2023, we updated that again. And by updating, I mean it went out to all of our departments, offices, courts, agencies, to look at what's changed since 2017. Okay, onward we go. Okay, I just basically covered that in the you'll have this for yourselves. Okay, we just wanted to cover some definitions so we're all speaking the same language. So unfunded mandate means there's no funding enabled or provided by the state or federal government, whichever requires that this function or service be performed by the county. These unfunded mandates come from the legislative branch of government, and also, which a lot of people don't realize or recognize, they also come from the executive branch and the judicial branch. A fully funded mandate is when one of the branches of state government or the feds creates a mandate, but then sends funding along with it, so that if it requires staff, if it requires, when you think of many areas that the county government's responsible for, it could be equipment, it could be many different things, and there are cases, though they're few and getting fewer, where the mandating body does provide the money to actually pay and provide that service. And then there's partially funded mandates with designated funding. I've seen that happen in a couple different ways, but The county receives some level of designated funding or reimbursement from the state or feds, which partially covers the cost to perform a specific service. Or something we saw, and I think it was tattoo parlors, when this came up that I saw for the first time in recent years, when the state authorized county government to raise the fee by charging people for tattoo parlors, and I think a portion of that did have to go back to the state. But instead of providing the funds, require the county board to actually pass a motion to raise the funds to do that. So another example, so I talked under my comments about one example of a more recent mandate, another one that has created a lot of controversy because it not only applies to local government, but it applies to our business community, is the sick leave mandate resulting from the Supreme Court decision in recent months. And so that's going to cost a lot of money to a lot of different kinds of organizations. And of course, there's no money from the state provided to meet that mandate. So, what you find is that, you know, whether you think the state's action does something that's right or wrong, for us or others that have to pay the mandates, the whole separate issue is we don't have the money to pay for it. So we have to come up with the money to pay for something that it isn't this board deciding what to do. It's another level of government. And so that's where I think the long-term frustration comes from. Okay. So, as I mentioned, for over 20 years, the Board of Commissioners has requested a compilation of what county activities were and weren't mandated. Periodic updates have been provided. And so today, the purpose is to really take it to another level. And I haven't, well, yes, we did during the Great Recession. So I think it's been few and far between counties that have done this, but I think this is part of the strategic planning material that can aid you as you kind of inform the budget process, inform staff on what your priorities are. I think knowing how we're spending money, where we're required, where we're not, will be a valuable tool for you. And again, this is something we're phasing in because it's a big lift, and so I think we'll kind of take notes on what well today, and then we'll sometime in the next year, maybe sooner, maybe later, I need to have that discussion with you, but we'll add a ranking for mandated services for which service levels are not mandated, and that's most of them. So most mandated services, some do, but not all. In fact, most do not have a mandated service level. So, again, the purpose of the report is to identify, we provide hundreds, a wide range of services, and then identify better where the requirements are, whether it's a requirement of the state, whether it's something our residents have asked for, whether the county board has decided to go for a millage to fund something such as senior millage or First Steps, those kinds of things. So hopefully it will give everyone, board, public staff, it'll help sharpen our knowledge on a continual basis of why we do what we do and what it costs and how it's prioritized by the Board of Commissioners. So the methodology for the book you have and the ranking that you'll do today, departments, offices, agencies, courts were asked to review the 2017 report, make any necessary updates. Administrative staff then reviewed the updated information and met with the department or office when needed. And then some of the limitations or gray areas where there are some funding sources for non-mandated services as well. So especially as I've experienced public health, sometimes the state will want to do a program, it isn't mandated, so they provide the money to do it simply because they want as many counties as possible across the state to do it. So we do, and that's kind of a gray area, I think, because of the nature of that spending. we covered all that, okay. Okay, some of the costs associated with the mandated service falls under the category of things like salaries, benefits, legal fees, office supplies. It could be print, software, equipment. Sometimes it's a full cost associated with the time of a staff member to handle a single case, or it could be for a program, or it could be, so there's a lot of different kinds of applications of how that works. So how do we plan to use the mandated services report in the future? As part of decision-making, we consider to be a living document, which can be used for decision-making. Typically, I've tried to update these every 2 years and not every 7 or whatever, because a lot happens in our legislature in 2 years, and we need to keep it as fresh as we can. I have testified before House and Senate committees on the impact of mandates on county government in the past, and I know that those presentations were valued because, again, with the crush of business and everything we're responsible for, in most counties, I think there isn't a lot of gray matter available to actually dive into some of these things. So I think that in summary, this document will contribute to our long-term planning and prioritizing as it relates to the budget process and other work that we do. And so the next thing will be Jesse Harris will walk us through the ranking process, but before that, I just wanted to make sure there was an opportunity for any questions you might have. So again, yes, Carol.
I did not understand that this was going to be us making judgments on all these things and ranking them.
You're basically saying what your individual preference is for each item. You're not voting. So this isn't a vote, but it'll be a tool that gives you some background information, you know, as you have other future deliberations on different policy decisions or on the budget. So I don't view it as you're making a decision today other than as an individual commissioner giving your preference as to the we're not bringing these to you saying there's some really unimportant things in here that you need to cut. Right. It's more everything we do has a preference. And so it's more measuring what is the preference of individual commissioners, which we'll never know that. I mean, it's anonymous, just like the ARPA ranking process was. But then as a group, what is the preference of the group as far as the relative importance of different items that you spend money on?
So my guess is that Jesse's going to explain that a little bit more, how we do this, but because not everyone here went through the ARPA process of grading and how this system generates a reported number.
Yeah.
This is one of the products that we'll get from it, but this is a ranking I did with the previous employer, and it breaks the basically everything that's ranked into categories to show what the basically quadrants, so top, second, third, fourth, so you can kind of see a graphic of where the board has put their preference on different types of spending. Yes.
Well, so function number one, the first thing up here is central services. And I mean, many of us just would go, oh, central services, but don't understand all that it is or all that it does, because it is one of those backroom type of things. And I'm just really, you know, I'm just kind of wondering how you know, I'm really kind of wondering, how much do I know about central services to be able to say, well, it's a, you know, a 2, 3, 4, whatever.
I'm sure that we'll need further discussion about certain things that come up after the ranking, but one of the goals in putting the book out when we did, and have with a description of each, was that we could ferret out any questions as far as if folks didn't understand a service, that we're hoping to get some of those questions out of the way before today. But certainly we can also, as we go through this, I think this is the first time. I mean, this is like a rough draft of a process I hope that we'll be using in the future. And so I think we'll learn a lot from this today. And so I would consider it a dry run, and the next run will also include the mandated services for which service levels aren't mandated. And then I'm sure we'll have to make some adjustments as we go, but it'll be really important for this tool to be effective for each commissioner to read the book, mark it up, ask us questions about, because undoubtedly there'll be things, this is a big organization with a wide range of services, and so I'm expecting that there will be areas that people don't know enough about. But it's almost like you have to start somewhere, and I think this is a good place to start, and then we'll just kind of regroup and see how this went and see where adjustments need to be made and just keep refining the tool.
I have a follow-up question to that. So will we also be doing this exercise at the strategic planning session when more of the commissioners are there?
We're not planning to do that again. As I mentioned earlier, I think maybe we can set up another ranking for those who missed this one before then. But no, the idea wasn't to do that again at that session.
Okay. I think my concern is that if we are going to do this, and I do remember seeing the email saying that we'd be doing some ranking, but I definitely didn't think that that was going to be something that was going to be with a group of 12 and not a number that's more representative of the larger body. So I hope that we can do something that we will have some of those other commissioners that are not here to be able to provide some input.
Yeah, and I agree, and it's really kind of clunky getting 21 folks. I mean, we were all set to go on another date, and I think we had like 5 that were available to go. And so this is kind of our second attempt to get a ranking done before the strategic planning. So I think we'll have to figure out a way where we can break it down and have a makeup session, so to say, just so we can have a better representation of the total votes. I agree with that.
Which is why we asked at the board is who can commit to being here, because we do want to have a significant number of folks here. When do we have enough? I don't know. If all 21 were here, that'd be the best.
Right.
Can we make all 21 show up? No. But.
And same with strategic planning. To me, it's like one of the most very important things the board does in a year, because that's where we learn more and more about what your wishes are for the upcoming budget. And so I'd love to say that's another all hands on deck activity. Any other questions? Yes.
Thank you. These books you gave us, these are ours to keep,
Yes,
so we can mark up footnotes, whatever.
absolutely. Yes. And please do. And then that would be a good foundation to send us a follow-up email and just say, boy, these 10, I really could use some more information on, and we'll get there. The other thought in not doing this again yet this year is that we are adding at least 5 more commissioners next year, and we'll want to get everybody up to speed, I think, and for the next ranking, unless, yeah, that's the plan, I guess. Anything else? Okay, with that, Jesse Harris, one of our management analysts, will walk through the ranking process.
Morning, Commissioners. Okay, so as Al said, today you'll be engaging in an exercise of ranking our discretionary functions across various Kent County departments, offices, courts, and agencies. And as a reminder, mandated services are not part of today's ranking. So as a result of that, the rankings exclude some functions of Kent County departments or offices because the functions are mandated or considered necessary to fulfill a mandate. So for example, the clerk's office and probate court will not be in this book. The functions you will rank are directly from the full mandated and discretionary functions report, which includes over 200 discretionary services. Each service has been grouped under a broader departmental function. For instance, both circuit court and district court have probation as a function, but those are going to be listed separate in the book and the ranking on the PowerPoint. Today we're focusing on evaluating the function as a whole rather than getting into the details of each individual service line. So one page in this book might have one service, it might have multiple services, but everything in this book is considered discretionary. And we'll also provide the board chair with the option to take a break in between these. So as you see here, we're going to do it in 2 different sessions. The first one being general government and social services, and the second one being essentially everything else. We might take a couple-minute break in between simply because we have to switch over to the second PowerPoint and start a new ranking.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
We're doing all this today?
if we can get through it, but hopefully it won't take more than maybe 45 minutes. I was told the ARPA ranking took about, what would you say, like 2.5, 3 hours, and that was about 330. So you get about, I believe, 20 seconds for each question that you'll go through. And as we kind of get into the cadence, it might even be quicker and quicker. So we can get this done in, 10 seconds each question or even more. But you'll also have the option to re-polls too. So it really depends on any sort of technical hiccups that we come across and just how long it takes to rank for each commissioner too.
Get your thumbs warmed
Yeah.
up, Wally.
Yeah, just, and I guess, let's give this the best effort we can, understanding that this is sort of new territory for us. This is a process that we don't have a lot of experience on, and so we want to get through it and see what it tells us and where we go from here. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So just so we're clear, I just want to express my concern that I was not prepared to go through this exercise today. I thought we were going to be getting more information to explain a bit more about the report, to give us some understanding so that when we did have, the full, a larger group of people here to maybe do this exercise, but I didn't come here thinking that I had to read all of the discretionary things, understand them, and then be able to rank them. Now, the email we got back in August, when I think we were supposed to originally have the meeting, did say something about that, but this meeting, I do not feel clearly articulated that the group of us around this table would be doing an exercise that would lead us into strategic planning. And so I just want to express my concern about that and to just make it clear that I am not prepared to rank anything, especially these discretionary services. And maybe I'm alone on this island and I'll be okay with that, but I just want to make clear that that was not my understanding of this meeting.
Okay. Well, let's see. Yes, Katie.
Do we get to see our results right away?
I think they're up immediately, and then we won't move to the next one until we know we've got the votes in.
Yeah, so basically each page in this will have an accompanying slide. We'll have essentially 3 clicks on my end. The first click will be showing you what we're ranking next. The second click will be starting the timer, and then the third click will be showing you guys the results.
I need a clicker.
I think Al went over a little bit of this, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next slide for the instructions. So each of you should have gotten a clicker. Did everybody get a clicker?
There's an extra one here.
All right. Everybody got a clicker now? Perfect. So each clicker will be used to assign a 1 through 5 to appear on the discretionary function that appears on a screen. So 1 indicating the item is a lower priority, 5 indicating the item is a higher priority. And if you've clicked an answer and submitted it successfully, you should see a number/letter like on the left picture here, if your answer was submitted, and like a short little green light. After that, it disappears, but that is a submitted response. So don't think if it goes away, then your response wasn't successfully submitted. If you do see a no sign or red or nothing popping up on the screen, we do have some staff here on hand. Just raise your hand really quick, because sometimes technology can have those hiccups, and we do have extra clickers that we can just swap it out, and that won't make any sort of difference on the summation of the results.
Yes.
I have just a question.
Yeah.
So we do this and then we can change our minds later, correct?
Well, we'll do another ranking.
We'll do another
Yeah.
ranking later. Okay, thank you.
And you can even switch a response, I should add, in the middle of a ranking. So like I said, we have anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds per slide. I'm not gonna be able to submit it unless I see all, let's see, you said there's 12 of you here? 1, 2, 3, 4,
12.
5, 6, 7. Okay. So if I don't see it 12, then we'll re-poll it. But if that timer is running down and you're like, actually, I would like to rank that a different one, you can click it as many as times as you want. And then the most recent click that you have is what's going to be submitted at the end. So we'll start with 3 practice questions at first, to just kind of like get our feet wet and get used to like what the ranking feels like, how much time is allotted, and so on and so forth. I will say These have nothing to do with county services, but I did intentionally put some controversial questions in here just to get the ball rolling, get things interesting. You'll have about 20 seconds for, I believe, the first 10, and then the timer will switch to a little bit shorter, to about 15 seconds per question. And then the software, as I mentioned, will automatically compile the results afterward. And after the exercise is complete, we'll take all of those results and give you a chart similar to the one that Al said, but we'll have to decide exactly what's happening with the commissioners that aren't here and how to accommodate their results into that. So any questions before we switch over? Yes, Commissioner Coleman.
So 5 is high.
5 is high priority, 1 is low priority. And again, just reiterating, if I press a 3 and then I said, oh, actually that should be a 4, the 4 is gonna be submitted, not the 3.
If you push the 4 after the 3.
If you push the 4 after the fact, within that allotted time frame.
It'll replace the 3.
Any other questions?
And 0 is not no priority, 0 is not a recorded.
Thank you for bringing that up. So if anything is pressed that isn't a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you will see that red light and you will see like a no sign on your clicker, and that means that's just not a ranking that can be accepted since all these are 1 through 5. So don't click 6. Anything else? Jen, would you mind pulling it up?
Let's see how it goes.
So one thing also is those that you were in ARPA, for the clickers to work, just don't hold them down in your lap if you can get, Monica, I see you from the, if you can just make sure they're kind of up, that it will help for it to get registered. No, it's just,
Don't hold it.
don't hold it, it's just a little hard to get through laps and the wood and everything else, so.
Delete.
You can put a laser light or something on this one. Okay, we're gonna have to separate you three.
Is it 10 questions for practice? Is that what we're doing?
We've got 3, but we can pull them as many times as you want if we don't agree with the results. Is it being recorded?
It is being recorded, yes. Yeah, your tomfoolery.
Let me see if I press slideshow.
So yes, these votes, once you click it, it goes into the system. The system will not know who made that vote, and we'll probably never know who cast the votes.
Unless he willingly divulged.
Bar on here. The thing to repoll to see how many submissions have been made. I don't see that anywhere.
It's all down here.
Voted 6. Electric shock. Yeah.
Oh, I did not want to do that. How did I get it to not do that? So, when we went through, they were able to
there's like it shows how many people have had their answers submitted.
Is this for Lori's liking or?
Clicker.
Let's see.
I'm gonna get 1 second to do that, because otherwise I'm not gonna know how many people are working.
It's not going yet, is it? Do you want to escape out of it?
Yeah, let me see real quick. Thank you guys for your patience.
We actually did do a dry run to make sure all the clickers worked and the system worked, so this isn't the first time.
I guess we'll just have to count after each one is shown, maybe. Because, yeah, that's an issue.
I did not have that on my laptop, but I get it. Do you want me to? I'm just gonna sit down.
Okay. Okay. Are we ready for some controversial practice questions?
Bring 'em
Your
on.
first question is your priority of the U of M football team. So timing has started.
They're a very high option.
And polling will close. Oh, I was not expecting that. Well then you guys will like question number 2, which is the MSU football team. Timing has started.
Is there any feedback, so we know that we're all being calculated, like, how many clickers?
They know
Yep.
when all 12 have voted.
Yeah, it's not on the screen, I guess, but they know.
And if you guys don't see your ranking on here for whatever reason, like let's say somebody answered, I believe that would be a number 2 for somewhat of priority, raise your hand and let us know, because we don't necessarily see how it's being like summed across the board. So if you see that you answered a 2 and it's not on here, let us know and we can re-poll it.
But you'll know that all 12 voted. 12 votes given.
And the last practice question being, having pineapple on pizza.
That's a tough one.
No, it's not.
And I just started the timing on that one, so we'll probably finish here in, we'll give it 4, 3, 2, 1, and polling is closed. Okay. So does everyone feel like they've got that under wraps and is ready to start with the actual ranking? All right. So first, we're starting with general government. Again, this is going exactly in the order of the book here, so I'll follow along as well. Number 1, central services, a function of the administrator's office, and timing has started. And polling will close in 5. Are you getting any sort of red light on that, or do you see any sort of like letter/number?
Yeah, I do have a red light now.
Okay. Before, when you were pressing it, did you see a letter/number when you, okay. Yeah, so I know it sounds confusing, but it'll immediately disappear after you press it, but that does mean that you submitted your response. So if you're trying to press it and it's not giving you that, then let us know, because some of them have been kind of wonky like that. All right, number 2. Administrative support from the administrator's office, and timing has started. And polling will close in 5. Number 3, the Prevention Initiative from the Administrator's Office, and timing has started. Five seconds. And number 4, communications, a function of the administrator's office. Timing has started. In 5 seconds. Number 5, contract administration, a function of the administrator's office. Timing has started. Five seconds. Number 6, board appointments. Timing has started. Five seconds. Number 7, equalization and millage administration from the Bureau of Equalization. Timing has started. Five seconds. Number 8, property description and mapping from the Bureau of Equalization. And timing has started. Five seconds. Number 9, operations from facilities management. Timing has started, and this is where it goes down to 15 seconds. Five seconds. Number 10, project development and construction management, also from facilities management. And timing has started. Five seconds. Number 11, property management from facilities management. And timing has started. Five seconds. Number 12, accounting and budgeting, a function of fiscal services. And timing has started. Five seconds. Number 13, fleet services, also a function of fiscal services. And timing has started. Number 14, procurement, a function of fiscal services. And timing has started. Five seconds. Number 15, manage self-funded insured loss, fiscal services. And timing has started. Five seconds. Number 16, safety and loss prevention training and analysis from fiscal services. And timing has started. Number 17, building authority, a function of general government contracts. And timing has started. Five seconds. Number 18, convention center and arena authority, also in contractual functions. And timing has started. Number 19, experience Grand Rapids, contractual functions. And timing has started. Number 20, Grand Valley Metro Council, contractual functions. Timing has started. Number 21, Kent, Ottawa, Muskegon Foreign Trade Zone, contractual functions. Timing has started. Number 22, Legal Assistance Center, contractual functions. Timing has started. Number 23, The Right Place, contractual functions. Timing has started. Number 24, West Michigan Regional Planning Commission, contractual functions. And timing has started. Number 25, West Michigan Sports Commission, contractual functions. Timing has started. Number 26, County Employment, a function of human resources. And timing has started. Number 27, Pension Administration, a function of human resources. Timing has started. Number 28, employee training from human resources. Timing has started. Number 29, applications, a function of information technology. Timing has started. Number 30, e-government from information technology. Timing has started. Number 31, lakes, a function of the Drain Commissioner. Timing has started. Number 32, board participation from the Drain Commissioner. Timing has started. Number 33, investment, a function of the Treasurer's Office. Timing has started. And the last function of our discretionary functions, number 34, tax collection administration from the Treasurer's Office. Timing has started. All right, now we'll be moving on to social services. Number 35, community assessment, surveillance, and reporting, a function of the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 36, grant and contract management from the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 37, dental clinic from the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 38, services to women and children from the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 39, community nursing from the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 40, screenings provided by the Health Department. Timing Timing has started. Number 41, Strong Beginnings from the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 42, Inspections and Investigations from the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 43, Chronic Disease, a function of the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 44, Education Programs from the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 45, Outreach and Advocacy from the Health Department. Timing has started. Number 46, Animal Care Services, a function of the animal shelter. Timing has started. Number 47, Human Service Programs, also known as Unmet Needs, from the Department of Health and Human Services. Timing has started. Number 48, Area Agency on Aging of Western Michigan, a function of our Health and Human Services contracts. Timing has started. Number 49, Area Community Services Employment and Training Council, a function of our Health and Human Services contracts. Timing has started. Number 50, Network 180 from our Health and Human Services contracts. Timing has started. And the last one for our social services. Number 51, Veterans Affairs, a function of Veteran Services. Timing has started. And that completes our first session of general government and social services. How's everyone's hands doing? No one's got carpal tunnel from the clicker? Okay, if you'll give me a moment, I will save this session and open up the next one.
staff, Jesse, Allison, our intern, Jen, so our staff did that, yeah. And Central Services printed it.
Listed with the resolutions that we've passed before and the description of the services that's needed. Very, very good.
Good, thank you.
Very helpful. Such short notice.
Is this a time of a little feedback or just observation?
Probably when we're done, but if you want to, if you have something quick you want to say?
Well, I think if we had actual dollar amounts in here of what is being spent, it gives context, like, this is a $10,000 investment by the county or a $10 million investment from the county. Gets a little perspective.
Some we can be very precise on,
Yeah.
and others we can't, but we can do a range. And so at least you'd have an idea of what that
And
is,
just to be
yeah.
clear, we're just talking about the services in the middle, correct?
Yeah.
They're identified here.
I picked up on that maybe after about 10 of them, but I don't know if others had figured that out or not, so.
We knew you'd catch up.
I'm just taking the temperature here.
All right, we still have everyone here?
Are we missing?
Carol?
Carol took off.
She took off.
Oh, she left her clicker though.
Did she?
Good thing,
Yes, yes, she did.
Commissioner McLeod and I are good citizens. The election security here is,
Oh my gosh, I should have taken one.
All right, Mr. Chair, we're all ready to move on?
Yes, I think so.
All right. We will start this second session with judicial services and number 52. Probation, a function of the district court. Yeah, it's trying to load on my end too. You know what? Hold tight, let me restart this because it's not responding on my end, so.
Cute farmer to spare, and people were not living like that. So they really dug in, developed some good systems, and they sold them better.
Oh, there you go. All right, try number 2. Let's try this again. All right. Again, number 52, a function of probation, or a function of the district court. And timing has started. There we go. Moving on to number 53, Community Corrections Board, a function of the circuit court. And timing has started. Number 54, jail reimbursement, a function of the circuit court. Timing has started. Number 55, prison commitments from the circuit court. Timing has started. Number 56, Community Service and Work Crew from the Circuit Court. Timing has started. Number 57, Pretrial Screening, Assessment, and Supervision from the Circuit Court. Timing has started. Number 58, Board Participation from the Circuit Court. Timing has started. Number 59, Services and Placement, a function of the Circuit Court. Timing has started. Number 60, the Detention Facility from the Circuit Court. Timing has started. Number 61, Education, a function of the Circuit Court's front of the court. Timing has started. Number 62, Focus Programs from the Circuit Court's front of the court. Timing has started. Number 63, Mediation and Alternative Dispute Resolution, also known as ADR, from the Circuit Court front of the court. Timing has started. Number 64, Diversion, a function of the prosecutor's office. Timing has started. Number 65, Appearances from the prosecutor's office. Timing has started. And the last function of the judicial section, board participation of the prosecutor's office. I didn't start the timing, but we're going to go ahead and move on to that one. All right, moving on to public safety. Number 67, the Fire Commission, believe it or not, a function of the Fire Commission. Timing has started. Number 68, administration, a function of the sheriff's office. Timing has started. Number 69, board participation from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 70, investigations from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 71, road patrol, a function of the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 72, dispatch services from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 73, the Community Reentry Program from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 74, corrections operations from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 75, emergency management from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 76, the Law Enforcement Computer Network from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 77, Marine Safety from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 78, School Resource Officers from the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. Number 79, Township Contractual Law Enforcement, a function of the Sheriff's Office. Timing has started. And the last function in our public safety section, animal control from the Sheriff's Office. And moving on to the community development section, starting off with number 81, administration from the Gerald R. Ford International Airport. Timing has started. Number 82, Outreach for MSU's College of Agriculture and Agribusiness, coming to us from MSU Cooperative Extension. Timing has started. Number 83, Housing Administration and Funding, a function of community action. Timing has started. Number 84, Community Services Block Grant from Community Action. Timing has started. Number 85, Weatherization and Energy Assistance from Community Action. Timing has started. Number 86, Food Distribution from Community Action. Timing has started. Number 87, Senior Programs from Community Action. Timing has started. Number 88, Support Grants for Community Action. Timing has started. Number 89, Lead Evaluation, Reduction, and Control from Community Action. Timing has started. Number 90, Individual Circuit Breaker Program from Community Action. Timing has started. Number 91, Bipartisan Infrastructure Law from Community Action. Timing has started. Number 92, Diaper Bank Assistance from Community Action. Timing has started.
Just asking for a friend.
I think it is.
And that was the last function in community development. Now moving on to recreation and culture, which only has a couple more in here. Starting off with number 93, lease and operating agreement with the John Ball Zoological Garden. Timing has started. Number 94, campground and golf course from the Parks Department. Timing has started.
We didn't see the zoo.
Oh, it didn't pop up? I'll be able to pull it up afterward. And last but not least, number 95, Parks Operations from the Parks Department. Timing has started. All right, and that completes our ranking. I should be able to. This is what the zoo was, Commissioner Sparks. Or can you not see that on yours? You can't. Haha. There we go. All right, thank you all for your patience as we worked through this process. It's something, as Al said, is the first of many of continual improvements. So if you guys have any feedback on how today went and as far as the flow of all of that, we would love to hear it too.
All right, Al, you have some comments?
Again, thanks. We didn't have really something to model this after, so we're creating this, creating it while we fly it, as they say. And so this would be probably the most important time, as you reflect on this, if you could send us emails as far as how we can improve it, and then we'll work on that for the next session. You will get some summary information so you can see what this looks like, but again, thank you.
Is it possible yet? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 or 12 individuals here, which means we had as many as 10 not here. Is there a mechanism to get their grading added to these in some way?
That's what we're going to work on. We don't have it as we sit here at this moment, but we think we can figure it out.
All right, and these are not mementos that we take home with us. We have to turn these back in. Okay.
One of these for my kids' chores, like give them a
All
grade.
right, so leave them on your desk and they will be recovered there. Anything else, Al? Take it.
No, I think we're good. Thank you.
All right, thank you all for sticking through this.